Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. The much-hyped Ruto's 5-day Mount Kenya tour is going to be reduced to a tug of war between the president and his former principal assistant, Rigathi Gachagua. And I think this is very deliberate. And Mount Kenya must be very careful. You know, William Ruto has been planning for this tour for quite some time now. This is the first tour that William Ruto is making in the mountain after parting ways with Rigathi Gachagua. And William Ruto knew very well that the moment he lands into that soil, the first question that he will be confronted with is, why did he sacrifice Rigathi Gachagua? So he has been planning for a very hot answer. And yesterday, while in Sagana Lodge, William Ruto was asked why they parted ways, and he made startling allegations about how Rigathi Gachagua bad-mouthed every leader within Kenya Kwanza, how Rigathi Gachagua was picking some unnecessary war with the leaders and members of parliament. But the biggest of it all that has shocked me is that he was saying that Rigathi Gachagua mastered the art of blackmail, and he started demanding 10 billion Kenya shillings. And Ruto was saying that Rigathi had told him if he was not going to give this money, then he would ensure that Ruto becomes a one-term president. Now, he also talked about certain development agenda in Mount Kenya, what he has done to the coffee farmers. It turns out that William Ruto was a little bit becoming more economical with the truth. And now Rigathi Gachagua is calling him out. And Rigathi is saying that William Ruto is a pathological liar. Now, I want us to go straight to what Rigathi Gachagua was saying. Rigathi is saying that I'm now convinced more than ever before that pathological lying is a mental disorder. That's what he's saying, that William Ruto could be sick in the head. The greatest existential threat to our beloved country is outright lying to the people of Kenya without blinking, and failure by a leader to put his team together to harmonize their lies. I weep for my country. That's what Rigathi is saying. He's saying that William Ruto is sick in the head. But Thorny Wamuchomba is now giving a clarification and calling out William Ruto loudly that William Ruto is lying about the progress they have made in the coffee sector. But before that, I want us to look at what Nelson Havi is telling William Ruto. Nelson Havi is saying this: President William Ruto is losing self-respect by making claims against his former DP, which we, the people, cannot verify. It is none of our business how they converged and parted ways. It is all in the past, but a lesson for the present and the future, both of which they have lost. And I want to believe that we'll agree with Nelson Havi. We don't know how they came together. All we have been told is that Mount Kenya fraternity was given a chance to vote and give William Ruto a running mate, and they voted for Kithure Kindiki. But William Ruto, in his own wisdom, decided that they would work with Rigathi Gachagua, and he appointed him his deputy. Now, less than 2 years, they have parted ways. One thing that startles me is the fact that what William Ruto is giving us now is different from what Mutuse told us. We all know that there were charges against Rigathi Gachagua. 10 billion was not part of it. We know they were saying that Rigathi was playing village politics. He was not carrying himself as a national leader. Be that as it may, Thorny Wamuchomba is saying that William Ruto is indeed a pathological liar. Listen to Thorny Wamuchomba.
I was very, very, very disappointed with the president last night when he spoke about issues that are not true, fallacies, things that are not completely true. When he said that he has invested in the milk industry, please, Sam, remember, I come from Githunguri and we are one of the best, actually the biggest producers of milk at the subsistence level. When he says that he has stabilized the milk prices to 53 shillings, yet we are being paid 47, 48 shillings And he said you can call every other cooperative society, milk cooperative society, and confirm that all farmers are getting 53. What do you think my milk farmers in Githunguri were saying? The president must know, like Mheshimiwa Kibagedi said, he is talking to the nation. He's not talking to Akinaroko and they're having a cup of tea and they can joke around. Whatever comes out of his mouth must be credible, believable, and provable. When he said that the reason why coffee prices have gone up is because he has stabilized. He has stabilized what? He has promised coffee cherry fund to fill to 6 billion. Has he filled? He cannot come and tell farmers, I stabilized through coffee cherry fund. And he knows very well where he put the money. It is not the farmer's account. He knows very well. He promised 80 shillings per kilo of cherry advance fund. He only gives farmers 40 shillings.
Did he give a timeline?
He had already confirmed. Actually, he did a cabinet meeting. He came out through a presser and said, today's cabinet meeting has approved that we are going to stabilize coffee farming by injecting 6 billion into the coffee cherry advance fund. He has not done it. Yesterday, he went on television and said the reason why coffee prices have improved is because he has paid debts. Which debts? He promised to pay debts, waivers for coffee farmers, but he has not done it. The only coffee factory I know, he sent an MP with some money. It was in Madeira. He sent the Honorable Eric Wamumbi to a certain coffee society in Madeira to take money for waiver. 3 months down the line, the farmers were deducted that money. It was not a grant. The farmers started complaining. We were told it is a waiver. Now you are deducting us. So the president must know when he's talking to the nation, he is talking as the president of the Republic of Kenya with all the respect, with all the credibility he ought to carry.
Okay.
When the president comes and says, hold on,
as far as coffee is concerned,
please allow me to finish because you have to
actually finishing.
I have information
No, I think
on
it's not fair.
Kepogo farmers,
Please.
cooperative society.
You know, keep on cutting me.
She will finish, then you correct
allow
Sam,
me to finish.
If it's a
We'll
you correct
submit
it.
when
Sam,
it
it's
is
not
time.
fair for Thorny to write to the nation. As far as matters coffee is concerned, when I have evidence on the prices of coffee.
I'm not talking about Kefogo. I have not even spoken about Kefogo. I have not referred to Kefogo.
What is that?
I have referred to Madeira.
Okay.
Let the Mheshimiwa get his facts right. And also, please
They are here.
Please, Mheshimiwa.
Facts about Kefogo and the coffee factories.
He seems to be knowing everything.
Coffee factories, 5 of them, and the prices.
No.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this. This tour is going to be reduced into a tug of war, a supremacy battle between William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. Who will be losing? Ruto is going there, and he has tagged this tour a development tour. If the people of the mountain are not careful, by the elapse of 5 days, they will realize that they were listening to accusations and counter-accusations. Instead of William Ruto telling them what he has done in the past 2 years, 2.5 years, instead of William Ruto explaining about the promises that he gave to the mountain, they will be listening to this war because William Ruto has charged his team. I know people like Kimani Ichung'wah, Kithure Kindiki will be there to defend William Ruto. And I'm afraid that by the time William Ruto completes his tour, there will be nothing to show for it. And this is quite deliberate so that they don't question what William Ruto has done. They'll be looking at the war, how their son was impeached and all that. So this will continue, and they will not have an opportunity to interrogate what William Ruto has done in terms of development. But let me tell you, Mount Kenya people and the entire country do not care. We don't care about all this impeachment because what I know for a fact is that whether it was Rigathi who was bad or Ruto who was bad, Ruto has lost the mountain votes. That is a fact. There is nothing that he will say to justify that will try and persuade the people of the mountain. And I want us to look at a little bit, because now it is trending, people are asking, between William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, who do you trust? Do you believe William Ruto is saying the truth or it is Rigathi Gachagua? If you ask me, I, in my very considered opinion, believe that all politicians are liars. But the degree of lying varies from one politician to the other. And if you compare the two, William Ruto is a man who has mastered the art of hoodwinking Kenyans. And perhaps people would start asking, if we want to know whether William Ruto is lying or Rigathi Gachagua, we would start by asking, did Mutuse say any of the things that William Ruto is giving us? What about the roads and the dams that William Ruto promised the people of Mount Kenya? If they try scrutinizing, that is when they will know that indeed, maybe William Ruto is being economical with the truth. What about the assurance that William Ruto gave that the government that they had formed was a government of the hustlers and he would not allow Raila Amolo Odinga to be part of the government? All this will tell you that indeed William Ruto is lying. What about if you extend Ruto's relationship with the other Kenyans, not only Mount Kenya? If we would conduct a survey today on whether Kenyans, the entire population, trust William Ruto, you'll realize that Kenyans don't trust William Ruto. There's trust deficit between Ruto and the people of Kenya. And William Ruto does not care. There's going to be a lot of promises without giving any account on what he promised and why those have not been implemented. And so the people of Mount Kenya must be very, very careful, because this tour is a mere formality. William Ruto is only going there to show that, I'm not afraid of the mountain. He has taken the war to Rigathi's doorstep. He started by sacking the former Attorney General, Joe Muturi. Now he's making startling allegations. He's only telling them, I'm not afraid. In fact, William Ruto knows very well that the people of the mountain will not vote for him. All his attention and focus has been channeled to the Western Kenya, the Nyanza, Western Coast, the Raila support base. That is where he's putting much effort. And so Mount Kenya must also understand that William Ruto, by the way, this tour is perhaps meant to test the waters. How are they going to receive him after impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, after kicking out Muturi, after appointing people like Godfrey Ruku? But Ruto knows very well that there's very little that he can do to change the people of the mountain. It is also meant just to, because ever since he appointed Kithure Kindiki as the DP, Kithure Kindiki has been waiting for that homecoming because the ground was very hostile. So it's meant to be a thanksgiving to maybe the people of Meru and all that. But politically speaking, it's not adding William Ruto anything. He has lost the mountain. I want to agree with Nelson Harvey. William Ruto is only corroborating and proving that he's got a bone to chew with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua has been impeached. William Ruto must carry himself as the president. Let him not get into this war of trying to justify and explain with lies why he impeached Rigathi Gachagua. We know why Rigathi was impeached. We know it was all political. So he should not reduce himself further. If I were William Samoei Ruto, I would simply ignore the explanation on why I impeached. I would simply say that that process went through the parliamentary process, it is in court and all that. But I know William Ruto is also playing politics, and Rigathi should be very careful. Someone was saying that William Ruto had planned that he would even provoke Rigathi Gachagua, and he wants to ensure that by the time he's going around and traversing Mount Kenya, Rigathi will be fuming with fury, because he knows very well that Rigathi is easily provoked. So he's doing this so that as he continues, Rigathi will be making a lot of noise, and Rigathi will fall into his trap. People will see that indeed Rigathi Gachagua. That's what he's doing. All the focus and attention of the mountain people must be on the development. Let them not be hoodwinked into getting into this trap on the fight between the two leaders. It doesn't matter. It doesn't help us anymore. And in fact, Rigathi Gachagua followers must put Ruto to pressure and tell him, It's not helping us on how you converged, how you parted ways. All we want to know is, what is the development that you brought to us? What about the dam that you promised? What about this road? If William Ruto brings the goodies, well and good. But if he doesn't, then it shall have proved that indeed he's got no business with the people of Mount Kenya. Between the two leaders, who exactly do you trust? Because Wamuchomba is saying that all what William Ruto is saying about Kofi and all that is nothing but total lies. And William Ruto has been exposed. We wait and see how he's going to respond moving further to the coffee farmers.